Hey, what's up guys? It's Coach Matt over here, Primal Athlete Training Center, www.primalatc.com. Alright, coming to you today to talk to you about plateaus. And this is very pertinent to me because today I hit a crazy plateau in my bench press. To give you an idea, I have not lifted heavy. Well, I've been lifting heavy for about the past 9 months or so, but before that I haven't lifted heavy for about the past 5 years. I got involved with a lot of kettlebell work, I got involved with a lot of body weight training, basically getting myself healthy, getting myself feeling better. So for the past 9 months or so, I've been lifting heavy and I've been trying to get back to where I was before I stopped about 5 years ago. So the last time I maxed out on bench press, just regular flat bench, my max bench was 305. That was about 10 weeks ago. So after 10 weeks of work, 10 weeks of increasing, put my old max on the bar yesterday, 305, and it went up like it was about 135. Thing flew up, no stalls, no hitches, nothing. Went to 315 and failure. Could not get 315 up for the life of me. Tried it twice, both times failed. So what you guys can take from this is that you have to figure out a way, if you plateau, to get stronger using different methods. And here's what I mean. To give you an example, because I have been doing flat bench for about 9 months, just a straight powerlifting bar with straight weight, no bands, no chains, no fancy stuff, just bar and weight. Since I've been doing that now for about 9 months, and now I've plateaued and I'm not getting any stronger, now I'm going to move on to a floor press. So now for the next 4 or 5 weeks, instead of doing bench press, will be working on improving my strength in the floor press. Now what that is going to do eventually is, as I get stronger in the floor press, I will be basically getting stronger in a similar movement to the bench press, and my increased strength in the floor press is going to help me get stronger on the bench press. You can also do this with, say, heavy dumbbells for 4 or 5 weeks. You can do this with pin presses, board presses, by adding external resistance in the form of bands and chains. Basically get away from what you plateaued, do something similar using the same muscle groups that you can still go on and get stronger with. Make flat bench, for example, for me, that's going to be my tester. That's what every 10 weeks or so I'm going to retest on to see if floor press is getting my flat bench stronger. Now you can do this for squat as well. If you're using just a powerlifting bar, just a 45-pound Olympic bar to squat, and you've stalled, luckily I have not stalled yet, what you can do is then move on to maybe doing a different type of bar. Like we have the Elite FTS. You guys have seen this before. This is the Yoke Bar. It's a safety squat bar with really long handles. You can go down to using, instead of doing a free squat, you can do a box squat. But just as long as you are programming it correctly, just as long as you're keeping track of the weight that you're using, and for 5 weeks you're trying to increase that weight, you will be getting stronger in a movement that is similar to your tester, but a movement that is also going to improve your test as well. So for example, we already gave you flat bench. I'm going to be doing floor press. If your squat has failed, you can box squat, you can squat down well below parallel, you can add bands, add chains, you can do a different type of bar. Deadlift is a great example as well. If your deadlift has stalled, then you can move on to doing, say, a Hex Bar Deadlift, which we do a lot here at Primal. You can move on to putting bands on the bar, using chains on the bar. You can deadlift from a deficit for 5 weeks or 10 weeks. As long as you pick something that you are going to be able to get stronger with, then that is only going to improve your testing exercise, which again for me is bench press, squat, and deadlift. Now, if you are, say, a big overhead press fan and your overhead press has stalled, maybe you start doing some kettlebell presses, maybe you start doing some jerks, maybe you start doing some push press. If you are a big Olympic lifting person and your clean or your clean and press or your snatch has stalled, maybe you move on to doing clean and press and snatches with, say, dumbbells or kettlebells. So if you have plateaued, if your lifting has stalled, and it's going to happen to people no matter who they are, it's going to happen to people no matter how great they are at programming, this is the time to move on to a different exercise that's going to give you similar results and use similar muscle groups to increase and get stronger on, which will in turn get you stronger in that base movement and that tester movement. So hopefully this helps you guys out. I plateaued in the bench yesterday, so for the next 10 weeks or maybe 5 weeks, I'll go on to doing floor press. Who knows, maybe 5 weeks after that, I'll go on to some heavy dumbbells, and then in 10 weeks, retest my flat bench and see if it did anything, see if it improved. That's the beauty of lifting weights, guys. That's the beauty of what I do here at Primal, and why I love doing what I do is because I get to experiment on myself. I get to push the limits of my training and then translate that to my athletes and watch them get super powerful, watch them get super strong and super fast, and go out and dominate, whether it's on the football field, the track, the basketball court, whatever sport they play. Coach Matt, Primal Athlete Training Center, looking forward to hearing your feedback on this video and what you've done to help yourself from plateauing, or how to get yourself stronger if you have plateaued in the past. Make sure to leave those comments under the video. If you guys have any questions, you can send them to me at matt@primalatc.com. Hope to hear from you soon.